What if I told you that the quality of your life could be transformed by just 3 simple rules? Not someday, not in a year, but starting today. Have you ever wondered what it really takes to change your life? I'm not talking about just getting by. I mean waking up every day, driven, feeling alive, unstoppable, to not just survive, but to thrive, to build relationships that are real, to create success that lasts, to feel a deep sense of purpose every single day. Today, I'm going to share with you 3 rules that didn't just change the way I think, they changed the way I live. These aren't just nice ideas or motivational sound bites. These are principles forged in experience, tested in adversity, and proven to create real transformation. And if you apply them, they will change everything. But before we get into them, I want to ask you something. What's one rule you live by that has shaped the way you see the world? Drop it in the comments below. I want to hear from you, because transformation doesn't happen in isolation. It starts with reflection. It starts with you. So as I break down these 3 life-changing rules, I want you to think about your life, the rules you've been following, consciously or unconsciously, and ask yourself, are they pushing you forward or are they holding you back? Let's dive in. Clarity is power. Most people go through life without a clear vision of what they truly want. They wake up, go to work, handle daily responsibilities, and repeat the cycle without ever stopping to define their purpose. But here's the truth. Without clarity, you are drifting. You might be working hard, but you're not working towards something specific. Clarity is what separates those who achieve extraordinary results from those who settle for mediocrity. When you know exactly what you want, your mind becomes a powerful tool that will find a way to make it happen. Think about it. When you don't have a clear goal, you leave yourself open to distractions. You take on projects that don't serve you, say yes to commitments that don't align with your purpose, and waste time on things that don't move you forward. But when you define your outcome with absolute precision, your brain becomes a laser-focused machine. It filters out unnecessary noise and directs your energy towards the right actions. People who succeed at the highest level don't just say, I want to be successful. That's vague. Instead, they define what success looks like for them. Is it financial freedom? Is it a deep, fulfilling relationship? Is it a healthy, energized body? The more specific you are, the more your subconscious mind will work to align your actions with your goals. Most people make the mistake of saying, I just want to be happy. But happiness isn't a goal, it's a state. What creates that state for you? What are the things that bring you the most fulfillment? If you can't answer that question with clarity, how can you expect to achieve it? The moment you get crystal clear about what you want, everything changes. Your mind begins to focus on solutions rather than problems. Instead of feeling stuck, you start seeing opportunities. And when challenges arise, you push through because you know exactly what you're working toward. Clarity is what allows you to move forward with certainty, even in the face of uncertainty. When things get tough, most people give up because they don't have a strong enough reason to keep going. But when your vision is clear, your why is strong, you don't stop at obstacles, you find a way through them. One of the best ways to gain clarity is to write down exactly what you want in every area of your life, your career, your relationships, your health, your personal growth. Be specific. Instead of saying, I want to be successful, define what success means to you. Instead of saying, I want a great relationship, get clear on what that relationship looks like. When you do this, you give your mind a blueprint to follow. Without clarity, your energy is scattered. You move in different directions without making real progress. But when you define your vision with absolute precision, every decision becomes easier. Should you take that job? Should you invest in that opportunity? Should you pursue that relationship? The answer is clear because you've already defined what aligns with your ultimate vision. Your brain is designed to solve problems and recognize patterns. When you program it with clear, specific goals, it starts looking for ways to bring them to life. That's why people who write down their goals are significantly more likely to achieve them. It's not magic, it's psychology. When you have clarity, you create momentum. And momentum is the key to lasting transformation. If you're feeling stuck, lost, or uncertain about your future, the first step is to stop and ask yourself, what do I really want? What excites you? What drives you? What kind of life do you want to create? Until you can answer those questions with clarity, you'll always feel like something is missing. Standards create identity. Your life right now is a reflection of the standards you've set for yourself. Not your goals, your standards. Because the truth is, you don't get what you want. You get what you tolerate. If you have high standards for your health, you don't accept mediocrity. You don't eat junk food every day or skip workouts because you don't feel like it. If you have high standards for your relationships, you don't surround yourself with people who drain your energy or bring negativity into your life. The difference between people who achieve greatness and those who don't isn't talent or luck. It's the standards they set for themselves. They don't settle for average. They hold themselves to a higher level, and because of that, they perform at a higher level. Think about the most successful people in any industry, whether it's business, sports, entertainment, or personal development. They have an unshakable commitment to their standards. They demand more from themselves than anyone else ever could. They don't allow excuses, and they don't accept anything less than their best. Standards determine behavior. If your standard is, I go to the gym when I feel like it, how often will you actually work out? But if your standard is, I never miss a workout no matter what, then fitness becomes part of your identity. You don't have to think about it. You just do it. The same applies to your finances. If your standard is, I try to save money when I can, you'll never build wealth. But if your standard is, I invest a percentage of my income every single month, no matter what, then financial growth becomes inevitable. Your identity is shaped by your standards. Every decision you make, every habit you form, every action you take, it all comes back to the expectations you set for yourself. If you expect little from yourself, you'll achieve little. If you demand excellence, you'll rise to the occasion. And here's the thing, most people don't consciously set their standards. They adopt them from their environment. They accept what's normal in their family, their workplace, or their social circle. If everyone around you settles for average, it's easy to do the same. But when you raise your standards, when you decide that you will not accept anything less than extraordinary, you change your entire trajectory. Think about someone who transformed their life in a massive way. Maybe they lost 100 pounds, built a multi-million-dollar business, or turned their relationship around. It didn't happen because they set a goal. It happened because they changed their standards. They stopped tolerating behaviors that kept them stuck. They stopped making excuses. They stopped settling for less than they were capable of. Raising your standards isn't about being perfect. It's about refusing to settle for less than you deserve. It's about setting expectations for yourself that push you to grow, to evolve, and to become the best version of yourself. It's about deciding right now that you will no longer accept mediocrity in any area of your life, that you will demand more from yourself, that you will step up and live at the level you are truly capable of. Because the moment you raise your standards, you raise your results. Action creates transformation. Most people spend their lives waiting for the right moment, the perfect opportunity, the feeling of certainty before they take action. But the truth is, waiting doesn't create change. Action does. If you want to transform your life, you have to stop overthinking and start doing. The people who achieve real success aren't the ones who had everything figured out before they started. They're the ones who took action before they felt ready. Think about it. How many times have you hesitated before making a decision? How many opportunities have passed you by because you were too afraid to take the first step? The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't talent or intelligence. It's action. Those who succeed understand that clarity comes from movement, not from standing still. Your brain is designed to keep you safe. It wants to protect you from discomfort, from risk, from failure. That's why the moment you consider doing something new, your mind floods with doubts and fears. It tells you to wait. It tells you to prepare more. It tells you to be cautious. But that voice is not there to help you grow. It's there to keep you in the same place. The only way to break free from that cycle is to take action despite the fear. The first step is always the hardest because it requires you to move beyond your comfort zone. But once you take that step, everything changes. You start building momentum. You start seeing progress. And with each action you take, your confidence grows. People who achieve extraordinary results don't have fewer fears than others. They've just trained themselves to act in spite of them. They understand that confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build through action. Every time you take a step forward, even when you're unsure, you prove to yourself that you're capable. Most people let fear of failure stop them. They think, what if I try and it doesn't work? But the real failure isn't taking action and falling short. The real failure is never trying at all. Every successful person has failed more times than they can count. The difference is they didn't let failure define them. They learned from it, adapted, and kept going. Waiting for motivation is another trap. Motivation is fleeting. It's easy to feel inspired in the moment, But that feeling fades. If you rely on motivation, you'll only take action when you feel good. But the most successful people don't wait to feel ready. They create momentum through action, which in turn creates motivation. The more you do, the more motivated you become. When you start taking action consistently, your entire identity shifts. You stop seeing yourself as someone who hesitates, who overthinks, who lets fear dictate their choices. Instead, you become someone who moves, who adapts, who makes things happen. And once you experience that shift, there's no going back. The greatest breakthroughs don't come from thinking about change, they come from taking action toward it. If you want a different life, you have to take different actions. You can't expect transformation by doing the same things over and over again. The moment you start making decisions based on where you want to be rather than where you are, you set yourself on a new path. Decisions shape destiny. Every choice you make, no matter how small, is either moving you closer to your goals or further away from them. Every time you choose action over hesitation, you reinforce the belief that you are in control of your life. You stop being a victim of circumstance and start becoming the architect of your future. Your life will not change because of what you know. It will change because of what you do. Knowledge without action is useless. You can read every book, watch every seminar, listen to every motivational speech, but if you don't apply what you learn, nothing will change. The people who create massive success aren't necessarily the smartest, they're the ones who execute. The most powerful way to break through fear and uncertainty is to take immediate action. The longer you wait, the more doubts creep in. But when you move fast, when you decide and act before your brain has a chance to talk you out of it, you take control. Action creates momentum, and momentum creates transformation. It's not about making one huge leap, it's about taking small, consistent steps every single day. Each step builds on the last, and over time, those small actions compound into massive results. Decide today. Every moment of hesitation, every excuse, every delay, it's costing you. The life you want, the goals you dream of, the impact you're capable of making, it all starts with one decision. And the only thing standing between you and that decision is you. Most people spend their lives saying, one day I'll do it. They talk about their dreams as if there's some distant possibility, something they'll get to when the timing is right. But one day is a myth. The only time you have is now. The people who create real success, real fulfillment, real transformation in their lives are the ones who decide, not tomorrow, not next week, today. A decision isn't just a thought, it's a commitment. It's drawing a line in the sand and saying, this is who I am now. It's cutting off all other possibilities and fully committing to the path ahead. The Latin root of the word decide means to cut off. When you truly decide, you eliminate every other option. You don't give yourself an out. You don't allow yourself to retreat. You move forward with total certainty. The reason most people don't get what they want isn't because they're incapable, is because they never fully commit. They leave themselves an escape route. They say they want to change, but they don't truly decide to. They dip their toe in the water instead of diving in. But transformation only happens when you go all in. Every major breakthrough in history happened because someone made a decision. They didn't have all the answers. They didn't have a guarantee. They just made a choice and followed through. Your brain will always try to keep you comfortable. It will tell you to wait, to play it safe, to avoid risk. But the cost of inaction is far greater than the cost of failure. Because failure teaches you, strengthens you, moves you forward. Inaction keeps you stuck. People who make decisions quickly and confidently create momentum. They trust themselves. They don't waste time overanalyzing, second-guessing, or worrying about what might go wrong. They take the leap and figure it out as they go. And the truth is, you already know what you need to do. You've known for a long time, but knowing isn't enough. You have to act. And that starts with a decision, a real decision, one that leaves no room for turning back. When you decide with absolute certainty, everything shifts. Your focus sharpens, your energy rises, your brain starts looking for solutions instead of obstacles. You stop being a passive participant in your life and start leading it with intention. Most people think they need confidence before they can take action, but it's the other way around. Action creates confidence. The more decisions you make, the more you trust yourself. The more you trust yourself, the bolder you become. And when you become bold, you stop waiting for permission. You stop seeking approval. You step into your power. Indecision is a dream killer. It keeps you trapped in the same patterns, reliving the same frustrations, watching opportunities slip away. But the moment you decide, fully, completely, without hesitation, you unlock a new level of power. You move from hoping to doing, from wishing to achieving. There will never be a perfect time. There will never be a moment when you feel 100% ready. But none of that matters. What matters is that you decide right now that you are done waiting, that you are done settling, that you are ready to step up and take control. These three rules, love needs action, trust needs proof, and sorry needs change, are more than just words. They're the foundation of a life built on integrity, strength, and real connection. They challenge us to stop talking about the life we want and start living it. Because at the end of the day, words without action, they're meaningless. So now the question is, what are you going to do? Are you going to keep living by old patterns that don't serve you? Or are you ready to step up, take control, and create the life you deserve? The choice is yours. If you're ready to take action, drop A in the comments. Let me know that you're committed. And if this message hit home for you, don't just keep it to yourself, share it. Because change doesn't happen alone, it happens when we rise together. This is Tony Robbins. Track, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and remember, massive action creates massive results. Let's go!